Hello everyone, welcome to this second video of learning with Guydia. Last time in the first video we learned e-tense, and I don't know if you noticed because I didn't say it with and I wrote somewhere that e-tense is an equivalent of present perfect tense in English. Yes, that was true and it is still true, only that I want to add something. E-tense is an equivalent of present perfect tense only in the case of most ordinary verbs, so that to say, verbs that are not auxiliaries. But in the case of most auxiliary verbs in Lingala, e-tense is an equivalent of simple present tense. To see that with practical examples, don't worry. Well, I know that you can already see a certain grammatical inconsistency, I hope. Yes, for some reasons there is some inconsistency in certain principles of grammar in Lingala. But we know that some wonderful linguists are working on it and it will be resolved. Meanwhile, don't panic. Here we're learning in a practical way. We will teach you what each tense of conjugation of Lingala and each word actually means in the practical, how they are using it. Let's go to practical examples so that we understand. I was saying that e tense is an equivalent of present perfect tense for ordinary verbs, while it is equivalent of simple present tense for the case of most auxiliary verbs. Let's see that. We start with the verb kosambela. We get two verbs. Kosambela in one hand and kozala in the other hand. Kosambela means to pray. Kozala means to be. That is auxiliary verbs. Kosambela, ordinary verbs. Kozala, auxiliary verbs. Verb to be. Let's start with kosambela. E-tense. We said it last time. How are you going to do it? I hope you remember. You first remove ko, that is at the beginning, because it is the indication of infinitive form. And after you remove that, you have to remove the last vowel sound, I insist, a, which is at the end. And what remains now is sambel. Then at the end, instead of the sound a, you will have sound e, which gives you nasambeli. Nasambeli, which means I have prayed. The case of number two verb, kozala. You remove ko, you have zala. After that, you remove the sound a, that is at the end, and you have zal. You replace it by the sound e, it becomes zali. And then you add your personal pronoun, first personal pronoun singular, na, which gives you nazali. In one hand, you have nasambeli, and in the other hand, you have nazali. But the meaning in terms of tenses is different. Nasambeli means I have prayed, while nazali means I am. Nasambeli, I have prayed, present perfect tense. Nazali means I am, simple present tense. Let's get another example, and this will help us even get more verbs, auxiliary verbs, and even ordinary verbs. Let's go to the second example. Komela, which we got in the first video. What does it mean? To drink. Komela. One hand, and koyeba in the other hand. Koyeba is one of the auxiliary verbs in Lingala. Koyeba means to know. Let's go. We are going to do the same. Kosambela in intense. I want to use the first personal pronoun plural, which is to. We got it in the first video. To. To means we. So we have tomeli with the verb komela, while we have toyebi with the verb to know, koyeba. Komela gives us tomeli, which means we have drunk. Koyeba gives us toyebi, which is we know. Tomeli, we have drunk, present perfect tense. Toyebi, we know, simple present tense. Another example, kobina in one hand and kolinga in the other hand. Kobina is to dance. Kolinga is to like. What do we get? This time around, I am going to change personal pronoun. I am going to use second personal pronoun plural. We said last time, we have two personal pronouns that mean you. There's one that is singular, as referring to one person. We called it O. While there's another one that is plural, we call it bo. This is what we are going to use. Kobina in itens gives us bobini. Bobini. While kolinga gives us olingi. Bobini means you have danced, while bolingi means you like or you want. Let's get the last example for this case, for this lesson, and for this video. Kokoma, to write in one hand, and in the other hand we have kokoka. This is can. So you can see directly that kokoka is auxiliary verb, can, while kokoma is ordinary verb, to write. We are going to use the personal pronoun that English call they, and in Lingala it is ba. What we get in itens is bakomi. Kokoma becomes bakomi. They have written, present perfect tense. While in the other hand, kokoka becomes bakoki. It means they can, simple present tense. You can see that in this second video, the purpose was to show you what itens gives as meaning in two different contexts. In the context that you are using an auxiliary verb, it means another thing, while if you are using an ordinary verb, it also means another thing. How do we then know? As you are learning, you will know. As you are learning, you will understand. As you practice, you will know. After all, auxiliary verb in most languages are very few. Like for now, we have just mentioned about 4, and I don't think, allow me to say I don't think because I'm not a linguist, but I don't think it is more than 10 auxiliary verbs in Lingala, while we have a great number of other verbs that are ordinary. So which means what we learned in the first video can be applied more with more verbs than the other case, talking about auxiliary verbs. In the case of auxiliary verbs, tense means simple present tense, while in the case of ordinary verbs, it means present perfect tense. That is something that you have just done. So with examples, we've learned 2, 4, 6, 8 verbs today. Out of them are 4 auxiliary verbs and 4 ordinary verbs. See you next time for the next video. Bye.